You become the instrument. You are the instrument, and you're dancing. So even if it's not there, you are. That's one of the brilliant things I love about this dance. The improvisation is there that you because you become like the instrument. It's like you fill in the blanks of what the orchestra that's playing might be missing. You know, like you, even though they're like going a really strong beat, you can fill in the melody and like move really slowly to like the which would be the melody part there.
Tango Bardot's coming. Are you excited?
You know, I love live bands. I love live music, and Tango Bardo is probably my favorite live band out right now. And you know, I'm kind of glad that a lot of tango dancers have kind of turned a new leaf. I feel with live music because I feel like when I started 12 years ago, people hated live music. They absolutely hated anything that wasn't like the record. Now I feel like we've gotten to a point because we have so many more modern and new orchestras out there, they're actually relatively good. I think a lot of people have changed, and because a lot of DJs play a lot more of these new bands in the Milonga set, I feel like now it's just more appreciated.
Yeah, I agree. And also, I think not just that, but I also think that our homegrown live bands have actually grown and gotten a lot better because, you know, I think maybe 10 years ago it was nice. You're there for your friends, but it wasn't like great, you know.
I still loved it.
I loved it too.
I loved it. Shout out to our former roommate Olga playing piano. Now I heard she's actually making it big down in Argentina. So.
Yeah, she's part of a band. I heard she's part of a band down there, and they'll be playing in Mundial, which actually is now, isn't it?
Yeah, Mundial is happening.
Day one is today or yesterday.
Yeah, today being Sunday, yes. It's actually Monday. Yeah, it happened yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah. So interesting. Yeah. So I don't know. I love live music, even the bare bones of live music. Even what some people would call bad live music, I still love. Even if it's just one person playing bandoneon and they're not even that good, I still love it. Right? I don't know. For me, it's just like seeing the music played in front of you in the vibrance and the warmth of the music coming out of the instrument, it just feels so present, and it just goes perfectly with the presentness of the dance for me.
Yeah. I mean, you're definitely a more musical person than I am, and I would say that for me, I love live music, but it took a while for me to really enjoy it. Like I enjoyed it because it was live as a new experience for me, but I wouldn't say that I was the best at dancing to live music.
Why?
In general, I have a hard time with music, and it was a lot easier to build that familiarity with the with the records or whatever I was always playing, because you've heard that same song 100 million times, and like, okay, well, I know where this is coming up, I know where that's coming up.
Yeah.
It's so familiar, but then. When you have the live version where you're not too sure if they're gonna like
go rogue.
Yeah, because sometimes it happens. And like I wasn't that good at
adjusting and adapting.
Yeah, and doing something on the fly.
They embellish a little bit too much. Some of those live.
Yeah.
They go like out of nowhere, just like throwing in all these extra notes.
And really back then, I'd get pissed off when a follower just embellished a little too much, and I'm just like,
now the band's
you threw me off. No, it's like you threw me off. Like, oh, I need that 8 count right there. And like now, because like I had that structure so set up, and I couldn't. I wasn't good enough to actually get around that or to.
But don't you like it like a surprise? Like it's like, oh, that's cool. Like you're just like, I don't know what's going on, but I'm gonna just go ride with it.
I do now.
Yeah.
But back then, when I was more regimented.
Yeah.
No, I back then.
Like, give me the real record.
No, because back then it was more about like my idea of the perfect design, and that was the problem is that the more I did this, and the more I start appreciating music, the more I start learning about tango, that I realized like there is no perfect design.
No.
And that's something.
You become the instrument. You are the instrument, and you're dancing. So even if it's not there, you are. That's one of the brilliant things I love about this dance. The improvisation is there that because you become like the instrument, it's like you fill in the blanks of what the orchestra that's playing might be missing. You know, like you, even though they're like going a really strong beat, you can fill in the melody and like move really slowly to like the which would be the melody part there.
Yeah.
You know, if there was a violin player, if they didn't have a violin player for whatever reason, you could fill in the violin part, right?
Yeah, let's just say I'm not there yet. Like no. I mean, I'll be honest. Music has never been my strong point. I've always struggled with music, and I think that's why I always liked the CDs and everything in the very beginning because of that repetition and knowing where everything is. But
To be fair, yeah, I guess it is kind of like, it's definitely something that is rare. I would feel like most people kind of take your sentiment on live music, whereas like I have to know exactly how the song's played because I want to set this thing up for whatever thing.
Yeah.
But I remember one time we were at Gavito. Shout out to Dennis and Tanya. It was Gavito Tango Festival last year, and I was looking. The live band was playing, and it was some new arrangement or piece of music. And I was looking for Olga because Olga was there, and because like I know she would appreciate that,
Yeah.
you know. And I was looking for her, and I invited her to dance. She's like, "Are you sure? Like, I don't. Are you want to dance this?" And I'm like, "Yeah, let's do it." And then like after the time was done, she was like, "You know, you're like one of the only people in here that I would pick to enjoy what we just did. Like what you just did now, like no one's gonna be doing that." Because like she was listening to the music, it was just so abstract, it was so unfamiliar. She was like, "Yeah, that's." Like she totally thought it was not going to be enjoyable because it was just so weird sounding and so like yeah, not familiar.
Yeah, but do you think part of that's just confidence? Like you go in there because I think sometimes, especially with me, like when I wing it or I'm like I don't know, like I'm listening, even if it's something that's pre-recorded, it's something I'm so unfamiliar with that like I might be walking, I might be doing something more simple, but like people, like my partner could feel how not confident I am in this thing, and then it's like that domino effect of like now I'm not confident, now they're unsure, and now we have a hard time dancing together because we're connecting with anxiety, not with like.
Well, I feel like with unfamiliar music for me, because I've learned how to dance so slow, I feel like I could dance the stretched out to anything, right? And it's always there, right? So if something's super complex, rather than hit the ba 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 ba, and like I go, like just one movement, right? Just sounds like it just matches that whole complex sequence.
Yeah.
You know?
That's all I get you, and that's something I appreciate now. Now that I've taken more musicality classes, I've taken a lot more orchestra classes.
Do you think that helped?
It helps me because I don't have a musical background. I don't have
I always, because to be honest with you, I always thought musicality classes were a fraud. I always think like musicality is personal. Like, how could you tell me what to listen to? Like, there's several instruments that are playing, several different sounds. How can you say that this is musicality by dancing to this particular sound?
It's not about, to me, it's not about you have to do it their way. It's more of do it their way so that there's a structure for you to actually do something. Because, like, if I start dancing, I wouldn't even know where to start. So they say, it's kind of like when we first started learning tango, what's the first thing you learn is like the baldosa, right? So it's a structure for you to actually have a foundation on. You're like, okay, I could build the baldosa. I could do these things here. I could do an ocho there.
Yeah.
And then later on, like, okay, the baldosa becomes the salida with the cross.
Yeah.
So it's something for me to work at and feel and to move to the next level, whatever that may be. But without if it's just an empty sandbox, I don't know what to do. So that's why, and that's where like someone like me, the musicality classes are great because it gives me some just kind of structure of a starting point. I mean, let's play this case. You know how bad I am at music, is that I couldn't hear the beat for most of my life.
Just the regular.
No, I'm not even. Yeah, I'm not even talking about tango. I'm talking about just in general.
Really?
Dude, okay. I learned how to hear the beat through video games
What?
Yeah, because I couldn't hear the beat. Because I
What do you mean video games? Just the soundtracks of
no,
the
no, no. Like they were, I played, dude. I played 2 years of Dance Revolution to like, because I needed a visual marker.
Guitar Hero?
Yeah, because I needed a visual marker, and because then I didn't realize that like, oh, the arrow matched up. Where you're supposed to strike it on the beat. I didn't know these things, you know, and I was really goofy when I was playing these games because it's like I couldn't hear the beat. So those games helped me understand what the beat was, and that's like just to tell you how bad I was. I relied on these things for me to find where the beat is, and I needed some kind of structure to it. So these musicality classes, though, you know, now music has become a little bit more personalized for me.
Yeah.
I just need a starting point because I didn't even know where to start. I'm like, you know,
Yeah.
I'm all over the place. I mean, I think that's one of the reasons why in the beginning I really went towards alternative because it was easy for me to know where the beat was and because I listen to this all the time. You
It's
know,
so obvious.
yeah.
Where tango's a little more subtle at certain things. Some are highlighted at certain areas.
And it wasn't like when I listen to pop music. Now I understand why that pop music is repetitive. Like it's the same, like it's that same chord over and over again.
Yeah,
So
the
it's
chord
only
progression's the same.
Yeah. Where in tango, like the whole
changes all the time. Yeah.
Well, yeah, because
But there's still a little phrasing, but
but the thing is, there's phrasing, and the phrases change between A and B and C, right? Which this is something I learned through tango. I didn't learn that, and to look at contemporary pop music now, there isn't an A and a B really. It's just that same thing. It's just the verse and the chorus, and that's it. It's not, it's not the A B C kind of a thing.
Yeah, I mean the only really impactful musicality class that I've taken a couple ones that gave me little hints and things to look for. Well, it was pretty much when I took lessons with Horacio Godoy. He's probably the only one up there, and it's funny because it's so solidified in my mind. I was taking his group workshop, and he was doing things where like he would call out one couple and say, all right, dance to the regular time. Only dance like this. And then the next, they would clear out, and then the next couple would, are you going to dance double time? And so I was the single time. I was the single time person. He called me out of like 50 people. He's like, you and you. I was like, oh, crap. Because people, I was like, I went out there. And I was listening to the song, and I did the single time for a couple measures, and then you know how you change weight to the cross system?
Yeah.
And I kept it was so imprinted in my body that I kept getting to that point where I cross system into the ocho.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, that's double. You're doing the double time there. I was like, oh wait, and I had to do it several times. And it was.
So he wanted you to step. Then to like together while the girl's not stepping.
He just wanted me to dance single time, and no matter what, all the time, just not always one. And I didn't even realize at some moments I do change across. So, and I couldn't do it. I couldn't undo it in my system. I kept doing it. Everyone was laughing the second time and the third time because I would walk, and then walk, and then walk. So once I did it, everyone started laughing, and it's literally imprinted in my mind. That moment. I think it was like 3 years into tango.
Well, he's coming back in 2 weeks, so
he is gonna be first time in LA.
Are you gonna come back and be like, hey, I can dance single time now?
That would be interesting.
But going back to live music, I mean, so these musicality classes, the live music, I think it's one of those things where like people really have to concentrate on it and to actually appreciate live music because when I first started dancing tango, at least for the first 5 years, I wasn't really concentrating on music. I might have taken one musicality workshop here and there.
Yeah.
But I was so figure oriented that.
Yeah. You're like, music, I'll catch up to it.
Well, it's not that. It's like.
Weren't you just curious about how like the different types of music and orchestras and how the songs are different, like the signatures of each orchestra?
No, actually,
none of that piqued your curiosity.
Well, no, not while I was chasing back cicadas. Not while I was chasing cicada and rosque, lapis, whatever. Like to be honest with you, no. I might say it or I might, but there wasn't enough musicality classes, or
Or just on your own, just listen to some tango music on your own time and say, wow, this sounds different than this.
you know, I don't think I did. To be honest with you, I don't think I really got into music until much later. Like, I mean, I would actually say I probably didn't dive into music until the pandemic.
Really?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, because I knew I was always weak in music, and I tried. Like, I mean, I had Olga like try to school me on music, and and I remember Natasha was just give him what he needs to know, and like I was always offbeat. I was always I was trying, and I couldn't get it, and it wasn't real. I guess I was really frustrated, and I would just go back to
What you knew.
what I knew, or what I
Really
could
comfortable
what I
with.
could do,
Yeah.
which came back down to figures,
Yeah.
figures and figure techniques. But with the pandemic, I was there was nothing else. Like,
So what did you do? Sorry, you finally started listening to music?
no, actually, I took musicality classes because
okay.
there was a lot of them. There was a lot of them available
Online.
Yeah, there was a lot available. I went to Horacio's classes online for like a whole year and a half.
Okay.
Maybe if there was more of that available to me
In the beginning?
in the beginning, I might have gone into it.
Interesting.
But I guess I'm very much a class person. Like, I need a class. I need
Jumpstart you and keep you
yeah
pushing.
yeah, because like a lot of it is I don't know where to start, and if someone
Just listen to the music. That's what I did.
That's-
For 2 hours. I did it. Like when I first started, I was like, all right, I'm gonna figure what this music is, because I couldn't even in the beginning. I couldn't even tell. Is this Vals? Is this Milonga? This is Milonga, right? This is Milonga. Like you go through that phase, and so for the first, I would say, year or so, I dedicated 2 hours out of every day just to listen to straight tango music.
Yeah, I guess I probably could have done that, but I mean, discipline-wise, I'm not that self-motivated disciplined person. I need classes to, because the thing with the classes is, it's like, hey, 8 o'clock, time to go into class. You're learning something.
Yeah.
Like I'm like that with the gym too. I'm not the guy. Am I the guy to go to the gym all the time? I mean, I am when there's a class to go to because I am there with a whole bunch of people. It's part of being an extrovert. Like I need to be around a lot of people to get me going somewhere. It's unless the only time I'm self-motivated while I'll do things solo is if I'm afraid of losing.
Afraid of losing.
That's
Just
not,
afraid of public shame. So
yeah.
You know.
I mean,
Well, shame is a good motivator. It's not like
shame is a good motivator.
I think we kind of deny it, but people need to actually be shamed more. Maybe it'll turn a new leaf for them.
Yeah, and like my running, my whole running like a madman all the time. It wasn't because I wanted to run. It's because I got my butt kicked in a tournament because I ran out of gas. I'm like, never again.
I fill my gas tank and make it bigger.
But it's the same. I guess it's my lifelong story. Why I go heavy into tangos? Because I got a broken tanda. Like, never again. Every it's like something traumatic happens. I was like, never again. So, but why I didn't realize that, because I kept on getting like my butt kicked in competition. I didn't have that never again moment. I should have, but nothing, I guess it's because I didn't realize it wasn't musical.
Yeah.
I knew I wasn't musical, but I thought I could make it up through figures and other stuff.
Yeah.
But now I definitely appreciate a lot more, and because of that, I think I definitely could appreciate live music a lot more, and actually do what I want to do. Because back then, I appreciated live music. I danced to live music. I always thought it was fun, but I couldn't really I didn't have all the tools to really dive deep into live music.
To be fair, it is difficult to dance to the music. It's kind of a long wind process. At first, you just kind of do what Rob does. You figure out how do you move yourself, and then you're like, I hear some music in the background, but I don't even know what to do with that. And then you start how to figure out how to move with your partner, and then you go, oh, okay, I hear the music, and now I think I can put my partner on the music a little bit, right, in certain spots. And I don't think it comes until maybe for me, it was like year 4 or 5, where I finally was like, all right, I can start to really dance to the music more to how I envision how I want to dance to the music.
Yeah.
And so it's a really long-winded, tough process. People just say, well, just dance to the music. But yeah, easy for you to say. You got to suggest the impulse, feel where your partner is connected, use the floor, and figure out what part of the song is this, or how you're going to do it. That's a lot.
You know, it's funny. You said year 4 or 5. I think year 4 or 5. I just found out what the Chan Chan was. Because it was Bruno Abate that finally got me to understand what the Chan Chan was. So for all you people out there who struggle with music, just keep at it. I mean, I really didn't really get into music and understand music until maybe 11 years in, and I still had fun without learning, really diving deep into music. But when you dive deep into music, the whole dance becomes a lot more rich. And I wish I did it earlier, but at the same time, I didn't know how to approach it, and the tools weren't there readily available to me to actually get into music. I mean, yes, I could have listened to music 2 hours a day, but what I needed for myself was like a weekly musicality class, and that was not available.
Yeah, because it's hard to teach musicality. But nonetheless, let us know what your thoughts and feelings are with live music. And we'd love to hear what you think in the comments. But that's going to be us for this episode, and we will catch you on the next one. We are back with another edition of Tango Poetry, where we look at certain famous songs that are often played in the milongas and find out what the actual lyrics are. So we wanted to focus on a very popular song, and the song is called Remembranza, and it means remembrance. And so it was written in 1934, and the song, it goes like this. Every week feels so long when you're not close to me. I don't know what superhuman powers give my life meaning, so far from you. Now that the light of my hope is dead, I am like a shipwreck at sea. I know that I am lost beyond the horizon, but I just can't accept that. Oh, how sad it is to recall, after so much love, the joy that is gone now, the flower of dreams, our passion has wilted. Oh, forget all my scorn. Come back, sweet one, to our love, and once again, our desire will blossom like that flower. Remembranzas. All right. Interesting. This one seems like whenever you hear this song, this is the kind of, it's one of those awe songs, right? It's like whenever you hear the DJ play, it's like awe.
Yeah, it goes back to like our first 2 episodes, or the first 2 times we did this, where it always seems something more romantic, so more something more positive, and then like the lyrics are so tragic. It definitely makes me think of. It's totally different from what I thought it was, because like you said, you hear this song, you're like, "Aw," and you go out and I think of like some kind of like puppy love kind of a thing.
Yeah.
And here it is, like, oh, I'm a shipwreck. I'm drinking my life away because you left me, and it's like, geez, what's going on here?
Yeah, and I don't know if knowing these lyrics makes me dance this song any better. Honestly, I think my ignorance before probably helped me out better. It was a better mentality to think it was more of like a sweet, nostalgic remembrance song. Because I know the word itself means remembrance, and it's kind of like remembering that. So I always thought like, oh, it's probably just about some sweet memories.
Yeah, like a nostalgia kind of a
Yeah.
thing, I totally get that. But now it's like, I want to see if I could channel this. Like there's a way to kind of like go deep and dark. I mean, it's almost like I should always go deep and dark with tango. I mean, because I remember one time I was in a class with Susanna Miller. It was a semi-private, and she was like, "How do you feel about this song?" And then the girl is in there. She's like, "Oh, I feel so nice and happy." She's like, "Wrong! You should feel sad and like miserable." And it's like it's so dark. And I'm like, "Oh, okay." So I guess it's one of those things where I should always just think it's dark, because I haven't really. I think 9% of tango lyrics are just tragic, and I should just lean into that.
Yeah, I mean, looking back at it, like after so much love, the joy is gone now. The flower of dreams, our passion has wilted. It's like, man, like,
You know, like I would give them. It's very poetic, though. I mean, to talk about the shipwrecked life. It's I really like how they played with that. It's not just it's not just you left me. It's the imagery is really powerful. That's what I like about it.
yes, I'm like a shipwreck at sea. I know that I'm lost beyond the horizon, but I just can't accept that.
So how would you actually? I mean, do you plan to go back and do you plan to take the blue pill?
The blue pill? What do you mean?
Like the red pill and blue pill, like now you know the reality, and now you can dance all dark, or you go back to the Matrix and be like, it's just still puppy love.
It's funny enough, I don't feel like a lot of DJs, at least here in LA, play this song a lot anymore.
Are you kidding me?
I feel like they played it a lot in the first 5 or before the pandemic, and after the pandemic, I haven't really heard Remembranzas.
I've played it, but and I have heard it, but you're right, it is
Like,
a lot.
it used to always play the Pugliese version,
Yeah.
and I haven't heard it in a while.
And then I think there was a time when people were playing the Juan D'Arienzo version too.
Yeah.
So I think like it doubled up
Yeah.
because of that. But I think La Juan D'Arienzo. I'm not saying they're going out of style, but it's more like it's. I feel that with more modern bands, they kind of cycle out more as it like this is like the new album, so I'm gonna play all the new albums now. Yeah.
But yeah, I really appreciate this song, and I feel like this song, specifically the Pugliese version, I feel like it's like one of those songs that it's a great starter to a tanda. It's kind of like a great connecting warm-up piece. But now knowing the lyrics, it's like, wow, like, do I really want to think of the shipwreck at sea and like that metaphor when I hear this song? I don't know. So it's weird because like people always say if you connect to the lyrics, it would improve your discovery of the dance and much more. But I don't know. I kind of like the connecting part of just before.
Yeah, but
Like
sometimes
it's just a slow build up crescendo. I connect with my partner. It's a great starter song.
it is, but I also feel the same way about Fuimos. Like Fuimos was,
I love Fuimos.
to me, Fuimos was a good starter song too. But since I started going more dark and deep with it, I feel a stronger connection. Like if my partner can give me that same type of energy back, it's amazing. So I'm gonna make an attempt on this one. I'm gonna go dark with this one and see what happens.
Now that the light of my hope is dead, I'm like a shipwreck at sea. All right, well, now that you know the lyrics, let us know what you think, or maybe you already knew the song was like this, and it's just really our discovery. But for us, it's really eye-opening, considering that this is really what the song's about. And now maybe when the DJs start playing it more, maybe you'll have a better, I guess, inspiration to try to capture that sea crashing feeling, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, let us know. And thank y'all for tuning into this latest edition of Tango Poetry Behind the Music. And we'll catch you on the next one.
Thank you for joining us for this episode of Left Foot, Right Foot. Don't forget to click the subscribe button and notification bell to keep up to us in our latest content.
Yeah, it really goes a long way. We've come a long way so far, and we really appreciate everyone's support in helping us grow this channel and all supporting our lifelong path of really getting social dancing out there and allowing other people to find their way to Argentine Tango.